already reviewed one lockdown-inspired movie and it was actually pretty good. But that was a rather major production with high-profile actors in the lead. This, on the other hand, which is also similarly inspired, is not exactly that. This is more in the vein of what I expected would happen when these kind of movies started coming out. And well, it's a cheap horror movie centered around a group of friends who, surprise surprise, get together for a Zoom call one evening to have a little séance. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? I'll just let your imagination fill in the gaps. And whatever you imagined would happen is probably more or less exactly what happens here. There really weren't any major surprises, things went more or less as expected. And I will say I was genuinely bored for the majority of the runtime. Especially the first few minutes were nothing short of tedious, and I mean tedious. Because they very faithfully replicated a group of friends talking about nothing interesting at all. Which is often how things go down in real life, but it's not what makes for an entertaining movie. Now from there on things get a little bit more exciting, although exciting is a strong word. Because as I said, I was bored for a lot of this, and yeah, even the horror wasn't all that effective. I just don't think a movie like this really works in the setting of a Zoom call. And yeah, the entire movie is actually presented through a computer screen. Which I don't think is a great idea for a horror movie. I just don't think it gets you in there to really get you immersed in the events. Instead it makes you feel sort of detached from the get-go. Now with that being said, I will say that some of the performances were fairly convincing. Especially Caroline Ward I thought did a really good job with being the more apprehensive and scared of the bunch. And while I'm giving this some praise, I will say that I liked how it wrapped it all up and the way the credits were presented too. But when it comes to the effects here, they basically ran the gamut from, well, actually bad to pretty standard to sometimes rather elaborate and well orchestrated. But overall, my feeling is that this really isn't a particularly good movie, and the thing that really killed it for me was the fact that it felt way longer than it was. It genuinely felt like a 2-hour movie, and that is ridiculous because it's only 57 minutes. I mean, I can't think of a first hour of a movie that felt this long. And that just killed it for me. A movie this short cannot possibly be this uninteresting and boring. If you make a bloated mess that lasts 2.5 hours, then yeah, I can at least understand it. But this, no, I don't get it. There's no reason you can't make 57 minutes more fun and entertaining than this. And because of that, I'm gonna have to give this one a solid 4. Boop. However, does that mean I wouldn't recommend it? Yeah, that's exactly what it means. I think you can very safely skip this one, or you can also not do that. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic.